Hi, I'm Leah Benford, reporting on current science from Science North. Yesterday, some residents of Greater Sudbury felt the shake of an earthquake that occurred in Virginia. Although it only lasted for about 30 seconds, it still caused quite the stir across eastern North America. Here with me today, I have scientist Amy Henson to explain to us why we felt it so far away from where it happened. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
To start off with, can you tell me exactly how an earthquake happens?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you think about an earthquake and how our rock in our world works, is that our rock in our world has different points of separation between them. There's cracks in it, right? And every so often what will happen is that crack on one side and the rock on the other side of that crack come together and they start to move slightly. And they might push and push and push and push and push and push against each other, and then all of a sudden there's a little bit of a slip. And when that little bit of a slip happens, that's when we feel an earthquake.
What happened in Virginia yesterday?
Well, in Virginia yesterday we had an earthquake of magnitude 5.8. And this happened in a seismic region of Virginia that the U.S. Geological Survey says that is a moderate risk of earthquakes. So what that means is that every 100 years or so there's about a 10 to 20% chance of a magnitude 4.75 or higher earthquake in that area. So we experienced that yesterday in Virginia, and the last one of that type of magnitude happened in 1897.
Wow. But Virginia is over 1,200 kilometers away from where we are, so why did we feel it here in Sudbury?
Well, that's one of the really neat things about Eastern North America. Eastern North America is really, really old rock, and it's much different than, as an example, on the west coast of North America. The Rocky Mountains, as an example, is a really new set of mountains in geological time scale. And on the western side of the Rockies, there's lots of cracks in between the rocks and things like that. But in Eastern North America, there's actually, the rocks are really consolidated. There's not a lot of space and room in between them. So when an earthquake happens, when that slip happens, it sends out these waves, and those waves can travel through that consolidated rock. On the west coast, when there's a break in the rock, those waves stop happening, and the earthquake doesn't travel as far.
I heard that there was an earthquake in Lively on Monday, and there wasn't really a lot reported about it. Do you know anything about that one?
Well, according to Natural Resources Canada, who are responsible for monitoring our earthquakes and things like that, when they first came out, they deemed it an earthquake, and it was about 3.3 on the Richter scale. And what they're looking at right now is whether or not possibly that earthquake was associated with a mining event of some nature. So sometimes it happens when you blast. There might be slips in the rock. There might be a rock blast that happens. We've heard many stories of mining occurrences where rock blasts happen and the mine shaft has collapsed in certain times over the past of our mining history. So they're just looking into whether or not it's mining related or whether or not it's earth related.
So lots of geological activity going on in Sudbury.
Absolutely.
Now, for those of you that don't know, Sudbury Science North is actually built right on the Creighton Fault. So, Amy, is there any chance that we can have our own earthquake here anytime soon?
Well, if you come in through Science North, you'll notice that where we have our Creighton Fault, there are two crossbars that are sitting there, and those were put there to see whether or not that Creighton Fault was moving. But that fault hasn't moved in probably a billion years or so, and I don't think we have any chance of seeing that move anytime soon.
So we should be all right then.
I think so, yeah. Won't be an issue.
Very good. Well, thank you, Amy, for joining us, and keep us posted if there's any more earthquakes in Sudbury.
Absolutely, thanks.
Thank you. Fortunately, no one was injured, and there was only minor damage during this earthquake. Keep checking back for more current science.